Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
Yes!
Dad, I'm hungry.
G'day humans, Chris Stead here. And we are outside the Quantum of the Seas Royal Caribbean ship. I'm going to take you back to this cruise I did earlier in 2023 and take you through the specialty dining options that we enjoyed while we're on this cruise, and just in case you're thinking about whether or not to spend a bit of extra cash and enjoy them. Now obviously you don't need to do that. I'm just going to show you a little bit here just so for the sake of comparison, but this is the Windjammer, which is the most likely place that you'll go to eat. You definitely have your breakfasts here. It's kind of open almost all day. They just close down here and there, but a smorgasbord of food and opportunity for getting fat, which is what I did a lot of. No matter what your age, no matter what your taste, you're likely to find something. It doesn't change up very much. That's your kind of holdback, is that you're looking at pretty much the same foods every single day. There's a bit of variation here and there, like one day they'll have mushrooms, one day they won't have mushrooms, and one day they'll have poached eggs, and the next day they'll have pancakes, and the next day they'll have waffles. So the favourites bar there. So they do mix up a little bit, but you know, if you're on this was a 12-day cruise, I think we did. You know, by day 3 or 4, you've pretty much exhausted the variety, and then you're just kind of eating it to enjoy it. So that's your basic option. And then you've got the dining hall, which you can book into and go to for dinners and everything, which is what you can see here. We had a mixed experience with the dining hall on this boat, but you can see kind of the quality of the food here. Look, it's yummy enough, but the service was a bit out of whack for my various Royal Caribbean experiences on this particular cruise. But that's what you can expect from the kind of dining hall, which is yummy, as you can see. But now this is where things get real. This is Jamie's Italian, as in Jamie's Oliver. And this is the first of the special dinings we had, and geez, it's so good. Now all the food you can see here, and you're going to see through this little segment, you get to, the young bloke loves it, you get to just kind of have everything. You know, it's like you can pick and choose, but you can just have everything, and there's so much food. It's all so yummy, and like that's the one thing about the specialty dining I will say on Royal Caribbean, which is all I can talk about, but when you step up to the specialty dining, despite the fact that the general food's really good, the specialty dining food is just excellent, and there's so much of it, and the quality of the stuff is so good. Mate, stop pulling faces. And it just keeps coming and coming. Look at that. So the kids just got the burgers, and they were still pretty exceptional. I think my young bloke called it the best he's ever had, and they could barely get their mouths around it, to be honest. Whereas we went for, obviously my wife there, she's gone for the salmon. I went for a big chunk of beef, and just perfectly cooked, lovely sauces, yummy flavours. Highly recommend. Let's see if he can get his mouth around it. And watching back these videos actually was just such a reminder of how good a time we had on this cruise in general. You can see my full cruise review on the channel, but also just experiencing this with the kids.
One of the best burgers I've ever tasted. Pretty good.
And just being able to take them through these kind of dining experiences and that. And here comes the dessert. So as you can see, a lot of food. You get a lot of food for your money, and the food is really, really nice quality. I think we had some wine as well, which was also excellent. So highly recommend Jamie's Italian. Was really, really good. Now over to something really special. This is the Alice in Wonderland restaurant, and I think it's called Alice's Wonderland. But yeah, it's so cool. So here, to get the menu to come live, the kids get to dip the paintbrush in the water, and then they paint over the paper, and the text kind of comes to life. A real magical experience for the kids. Pretty cool for the adults too. But just kind of sets the tone. You can probably see in the background as well, they've done a really good job with the chairs and the chandeliers and the lighting and everything. You definitely feel immersed in the Alice in Wonderland experience. So they've done a really good job with that. Because it's all about the food. And this is all about an adventurous experience. Everything almost comes out with something special about it, and something themed to elements of the show, or the movie, or the book. And You can see the test tubes there, so you can drink those, and it's got a flavour to it. The little cone pieces is another flavour together. You can eat everything on that kind of bird's nest with eggs, like it's all edible, except for the plate, as the waiter pointed out. So each piece was an adventure, and you really don't know what you're getting.
You are seeing is a volcano grain. Hiding inside Celestial King crab. Also, it has tobacco wasabi inside to stimulate your appetite.
And they talk you through kind of what everything is. So you got the prawn dishes there in the cups, Mad Hatter style. Like a little garden, like a Alice in Wonderland garden there, so you can eat all of that.
Squidding. Squidding, Paddy.
Again, like the other specialty dinings, a lot of food. You don't walk away from these things in any way, shape or form hungry. The drinks also, so you can get the specific cocktails. I think there's 2 different cocktails you can get through the restaurant, which are, again, themed to kind of have this magical, otherworldly Wonderland experience to them. You can see there. Just adds to the experience and the immersion. So those aren't desserts, by the way. They're a mushroomy jelly combo thing. I thought it was really yummy. The kids didn't really like those ones, but again, just something different and special and curious. Curiouser and curiouser. And so as you can see, a wide variety of foods, and everything is an experience, and everyone in the place is just really enjoying it. And our kids gave it a real good crack. I think they ate 95% of the things. They gave everything a go.
What is it?
It has also rosemary on. And this
It's like strawberry cheesecake. Mom!
to make it more flavorful, it has
Chocolate sauce on my strawberry cheesecake. Yeah. But my brownie and my vanilla ice cream, it's known to be the best dinner ever.
Josie, what does your burger look like?
Cheese sticks.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Over your plate.
It's a great burger.
Burger on a stick.
It's a burger on a stick.
Oh, look at this.
That looks good with the brownie sauce on it. That's not a brownie.
it's not crackle and pork. Pork has been braised for 2 hours, so it's still soft. Top with the fried apple, fried kale, a shaved celery root. Also, the celery root has a green mustard. That's why you see the like this dotted one.
That bacon.
Oh, this is so cool. So getting into the desserts now, and I'll just let this one speak for itself. But you can imagine the kids wonder.
That's chocolate syrup.
With caramel. And the crispiness of the Rice Krispies will excite you.
Burning.
That is the salted caramel ice cream that was seated on a chocolate mousse. I know you can smell that one already. That is the peanut butter.
And it tastes as good as it looks, trust me. So this is a real adventure. And if you're going to do one of the ones with the kids, like any of the specialty dining with the kids, obviously this is the one to go for. There's not a hell of a lot of space, so make sure you book in. Don't leave it too late. Like, just plot it out and make sure you get in there. But if you're going to choose one to do with the kids, I highly recommend the Alice in Wonderland for the obvious reasons you can see in front of you. Like, they've done a lot to make it more than just eating. And as usual, just lovely staff.
Be sleeping forever like Snow White.
Snow White. Sounds good.
That's the inside of our apple. I have one more.
One more.
Yes, I remember
Which
that.
was inspired by Alice in Wonderland.
There's more there.
Now, our mushroom become bigger. The island becomes smaller, burger becomes smaller, mushroom become bigger now.
Yeah, big mushroom.
And our world becomes smaller also. Alright? Top with the pavlova, seated with the pavlova. And the mushroom here is made from pistachio mousse. In case you have nuts allergy, this I don't recommend.
And so it was nice to have such a family meal like this, where we were just so engaged with the actual experience that, you know, we weren't distracted or ready to move on, or the kids weren't arguing about wanting to go see some movie or go out to the sports centre, whatever it happened to be. Like, we were all so engaged with the experience as much as we were with the enjoyment of actually eating the food. I mean, they're not cheap, especially dinings, to be fair, but they do offer something special.
I thought it was delicious.
Which bit?
All of it.
Well,
Except the lime thing and the mushrooms. Blech.
What else?
Not those mushrooms. The mushroom with the jelly stuff.
All right, on to the third one, specialty restaurant, Izumi, which is the sushi, as you can see, or Japanese cuisine, sorry. So we had a 3-package deal for specialty dining, and there's kind of 5 specialty dining, 4 real ones, just Chops Grille, and then there's another one, Chef's Table. So I was kind of pretty keen to do Chops Grille, but the kids really wanted to try out this restaurant, Izumi, so we ended up going with the kids, and it was a good call. They really loved it, and it was still really enjoyable, and quite a variation of what we'd been eating over the course of the cruise in general, where we had a lot of bacon and eggs and burgers and pizzas and so forth. So again, a big variety of food. I was expecting just kind of sushi and sashimi, but there was quite a wide variety of food options that came through, and again, plate after plate after plate of it comes.
It's going to have a bit of spicy in it, but it'll be okay, hopefully.
And I tend to find myself always quite hungry after eating sushi, but there was no way you're hungry after eating this meal. I believe there was a couple of cocktails as well that they had here, specific to this. Yep, that's a nod of approval. A little bloke, he loves it. And then, yeah, a wide variety of, I guess, variants of sashimi and sushi to try and enjoy.
When it comes to food,
So pretty familiar foods, I guess, but all done really, really well and really, really yummy. Potentially not as spectacular as some of the other specialty restaurants, to be fair, but one of the more popular places to go. And as you can see, you can still come and get some stuff for the younger kids that is a bit more potentially in their palate. Look at that. So good.
Yes, you know everyone.
No, that's rice covered in ice cream. Really hard, really solid. Like, it really had to chew it. I never had anything quite like that before. It was really, really yummy. So he actually cut it for you because with our waiter.
Yes, this is the strawberry one, okay?
Because it's so tough to get through, and he kept reminding us, make sure you chew, make sure you chew, make sure you chew. So again, something beyond the norm and just a bit fun.
He finally did it.
Oh, you catch it! Oh, wow! Thank you.
Once I caught an ice cream.
You see one more. So this ice cream we need to chewing, okay, everyone? I mean.
So lots of variants. You didn't have to choose one particular option for dessert. We just mixed and matched as we felt the need. That's kind of the case across. I mean, they're decent sized menus at all the specialty dining places.
Not like that, but still, you know.
Yeah, so Izumi, so probably not the most spectacular of all the specialty restaurants, but definitely still a really enjoyable experience. And again, we loved it. So Chops Grille, I didn't get to eat Chops Grille, unfortunately, and I cannot vouch for it personally, unfortunately. I found this footage of a fellow traveller, and I will share a link to their content down below in case you want to follow them. But I just kind of remixed a bit of what they'd seen, just so you could see what the other options are. I really wanted to try Chops Grille because the meat I'd had at some of the other specialty restaurants was just so well done, and I just thought something focused on kind of that American steakhouse kind of experience. I just knew that the meat was going to be really, really good. But we decided to go with Izumi's, which was also excellent. So unfortunately, I can't offer you any first-hand experience on this or vouch for it, but I thought just for the sake of being comprehensive, I would show you guys some of what is on offer from another traveller's perspective. So as was the case with a lot of the specialty restaurants, you go in thinking there's a theme because it's a steakhouse, but there's many other variations on offer in all of them. You can kind of mix it up more than you might suspect, considering that they're such themed restaurants. But as you'll see, the meat still is the star of the show at this particular specialty restaurant. So obviously, when you're cruising, it's an expensive experience. in general. I think it's good value. Like I said, check out my full cruise review to see the kind of value on offer through the rest of a ship like Quantum of the Seas, and I've been on Wonder of the Seas and I've been on Odyssey of the Seas as well. So paying a bit extra for the specialty dining, look, it's not something you need to do. You are going to eat well. But if you're looking to break things up a little bit or experience something new, I think they've done a really good job, as I've mentioned, of actually providing an experience which is beyond what you get in the other restaurants which are included as part of the package or part of buying the cruise ticket. So the food quality in general is excellent. But when you get to these specialty restaurants, you're absolutely stepping things up. Anyway, so I hope this video has helped you with your decision making on whether or not you want to invest in a specialty dining experience. If I had to rank them, I obviously can't include Chops Grille because I did not experience it, although, geez, that looks good. I mean, the Wonderland one was the best experience for the kids and just the best experience as a thing to do. But I probably enjoyed Jamie's Italian restaurant in terms of just the scope of the food and the quality of it and the breadth of it. I did enjoy Izumi's as well, make no mistake. But at the end of the day, it's sushi for the most part. So in terms of how much time, we probably spent at least an hour in each of the restaurants that we ate in. So in terms of the times that you're trying to think about. Being that we were with the kids, we generally went a little bit earlier, or we scheduled it for just after the show. So there's usually a show around, I'm going to say 6, it might have been 7, but usually that show goes for a set amount of time and we usually just set in for straight after that. So we'd go see the show, walk out, go have a really nice feed, and then do whatever we did after that. Usually watch a movie or go and do something with the kids. Go back in the spa. Here's the dessert, as you can see, it looks great. But yeah, I really wish I'd be able to tell you more about this particular restaurant. The eating with the kids, like it's a family cruise. They're more than accepting of the fact that kids are not going to be the best behaved. You probably saw that from the amount of crazy facial expressions that my kids pulled in those videos, but also the Wonderland restaurant in particular. The kids were just so excited that they were really, really getting into it. So they're very accepting of that. The staff had plenty to say. They were well educated on the foods that they were serving. We got treated great. Like, you know, there's no waiting around and there's no waiting for, it's almost like you've got your own private waiter. They're so quick to respond. The food comes out so quickly and it's so well done. Everything's obviously booked in, so they know you're coming and they know you're probably going to have a bit of everything. So there's no long waits. I'd say from walking in and sitting down to the first piece of food arriving on our table would be less than 10 minutes for sure. So excellent experience in that regard. Again, I'll put a link to the person who shot this particular footage in my comments so that you can go check out their stuff as well, because yeah, I wouldn't be able to show you this if they hadn't recorded it. And yeah, I hope that's helped with your special dining thoughts when it comes to the Royal Caribbean ships. I know that these particular restaurants are across most of the fleet, or a lot of the fleet. This was the Quantum of the Seas experience. I have experienced Wonderland and Jamie's before on Odyssey of the Seas, I think it was, and it was just as good there. Or was it Jamie's Italian? It might have been something else on Odyssey of the Seas. It was definitely had Wonderland on it. And the experience was almost identical. I couldn't tell you the difference between the two, so I think it's pretty close to the same across the fleet. Well worth checking out. Who wouldn't want a piece of that? I definitely want to go back and have some more. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out my other cruise content. There's plenty on the channel. And as for me, I'm going to go work off some of the kilograms that I put on during this cruise. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Chris Stead.